Welcome to chapter 60. We are talking about verbs that work like gustar. Here is our formula for how we use gustar. You've probably seen me draw this 4 or 5 times this year, but it's not going away. So remember, the first part of the formula does not influence the second part of the formula. Just like we say me gusta and then a singular thing, or me gustan and then a plural thing. All these verbs will work that way. So just to start off, I'm going to draw a big line down the middle. Part 1 on the left does not influence part 2 in any ways. There are a couple optional things you can put in part 1. A mí, a ti, a él, a usted, or you could substitute that with a la estudiante or a profe bowmaster, a nosotros, or a ellos, ellas, ustedes, or a los estudiantes, or whatever you want to put there. Just know that you have to put the a in front. We use that to emphasize or to clarify who we're talking about. Now, if something is not liking or loving or boring, or you'll see all the verbs below, that's where you put the no. But now you have to put these. Me, te, le, nos, and les. No matter what, you need to start with a me, te, le, nos, les. So you could say a mí, me. You could say no me. You could say a mí no me, but you cannot just say a mí. That won't work. You got to put me in. So that's who or what, usually who is getting liked, loved, whatever it may be. Who's the one it's pleasing to. Now, part 2 is something we've seen before. So you're either going to choose the el form of the verb, like gusta or encanta, or the ellos form of the verb, gustan, encantan. So after a singular thing, if a singular thing comes after, you're going to choose the el form. If it comes a plural thing after the verb, you're going to put the ellos form. The other tricky thing we forget about is the verb infinitive. That's considered singular, so it goes with the singular verb, the el form. So these do not go in the same word order than you expect. You just have to follow across. Write your part 1, write your part 2, and you'll be good to go. Let's look at the example. Me aburren las películas de horror. Horror movies bore me. Now, if I wrote that in the way it sounds in English, I would say las películas de horror aburren me. That's not working. We got to go in our word order. So here's part 1. Part 2. Notice I put en for las. That's why I chose the ellos form. Here's another example. Les interesa la escuela. School interests us. Again, it is not in the same word order. It doesn't matter what you think in English, because literally it's the school interests us, not we're interested in school, or they are interested in school. Let me correct that here. School interests them is what it should have been. So there's some examples. Now, since there's only 2 ways to write gustar, we know that's easy for us. But don't get thrown off just because it's a different verb. Aburrir, it's an IR verb. So I gave it an E ending because it's in the L form. I gave it an ellos ending. So there's really only 2 ways you can write all of these verbs, because the subject is the thing, not the person. That's why it changes like that. So please write down this list of verbs. Here's what they mean. Aburrir, to bore. Doler, to be hurt. Encantar, we usually say to love, but it's really to be delighted by. Fascinar, to fascinate. Gustar, to please, to like. Importar, we learned as it matters, but it can also be it's important. Interesar, to interest, to be interested by. Molestar, to bother. Parecer is usually used with it seems. So like it seems strange, for example. and quedar, to fit, like the shirt fits me. Those are the verbs you will use. Now, for good practice, maybe you can go through and write out the ways each verb can be written. That will help you stay on track and not start writing something like gustamos or encanto. Remember, there's two ways to write it.